Because not being comfortable with your power means that you are not able to speak clearly and efficiently. You are going to hold an energetic apology in your throat. You're literally going to say, I'm sorry more. You're going to have more up talk. You're going to have more filler words. You're going to have some vocal fry going on, and you're going to have trouble landing the plane. Or you're the opposite, and you're not going to be able to speak at all. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My goodness, it has been a hot minute since I made just a YouTube specific video, but we've got a lot to talk about. I've been in this world of speaking, of communicating, and I've been diving, pulling back into my roots of yoga and Eastern philosophy and psychology. And it's so amazing, you guys, because I'm right now at this intersection between communicating for your benefit as a leader, as an entrepreneur, but also communicating in terms of your relationships at home and with your kids and with your friends and your family, and then communicating with yourself and the divine. So there's like three big layers of communication that just keep popping up to me in all these amazing, miraculous ways. And I'm here for it. And I know you're here for it because ultimately, when we learn what communication and when we learn what our voice really is, we can open up doorway after doorway after doorway into the most amazing life that's filled with impact, that's filled with joy, that's filled with authenticity, that will allow you to feel like you are living your purpose. So today, I wanted to talk to you about proximity to power and what that means for your voice, what that means for your life, and how we can think about this concept of proximity to power to help you upgrade your voice. And when I say upgrade your voice, I don't mean just get louder or speak in some more authoritative voice. I mean your voice, your authentically coded voice. But when you speak in your authentically coded voice, like the one given to you via DNA by birth, you will start to connect faster with the people you're meant to connect with. You will, at the same time, repel the customers, the clients, the people that you're not meant to be with right now. You will communicate faster. This will become a more efficient game for you. And you will be doing the most important piece of communication, the most important thing, the most singular, most important job you have as a human being who can open up their mouth and speak, is to pass enthusiasm along. So pay attention. Pay attention to this if you are an entrepreneur. Pay attention to this if you are a leader, if you're a speaker, a coach, a healer, an educator. You need to understand that you have the biggest singular gift that any animal on this planet could have, and that's the power of your voice. So we're going to talk about how power is connected to your voice. But before we get into that, and I'm also going to give you some skills on how to unlock and get comfortable with your power, let's talk about why you're not comfortable with your power. Because not being comfortable with your power means that you are not able to speak clearly and efficiently. You are going to hold an energetic apology in your throat. You're literally going to say, I'm sorry more. You're going to have more up talk. You're going to have more filler words. You're going to have some vocal fry going on, and you're going to have trouble landing the plane. Or you're the opposite, and you're not going to be able to speak at all. Some people get so worked up by their passions. Do you know what I'm talking about? You get like, you just sit there and you think about, okay, how could I say this? What would I sound like if I said this? What would they do if I said this? And maybe you're looking at people in the boardroom, or you're looking at your coworkers on Zoom and you're just getting worked up. Let me know in the comments if this is you. I am totally that person. So I get it 100%. And in that moment, what happens is that your power overwhelms you and then you shut down. Okay. So there's kind of two different people where, again, I'm painting with a broad brush. There's people in the middle, but primarily the people that I coach are in two camps. One is you get so worked up by your power, you feel your excitement, your enthusiasm for a topic, and you just and you just like can't stop talking. So we lose the potency, we lose your efficiency, and people tune you out. Okay. And like I said, there's going to be more up talk. There's going to be vocal fry. There's going to be more filler words. You're going to have a lot of extra hand gestures because your energy is just everywhere. Does that make sense? And then the other person, you are getting like a pre-workup. You're getting so worked up before you open your mouth that you're just like, well, oh, screw it. This is too much pressure. I don't want to speak on this anymore. And then you've made it all in your mind this like terrible thing, and so you shut down. Let me know if you're person one or person two. Person one is you get work up, but then you go, and then you're just like a social butterfly and you can't quite land the plane. Or if you're number two, you shut down, you don't speak. So there's a real issue that we have when we cannot connect with and hold our power. And when I say power, I want you to just think in equal signs. Enthusiasm, we could use the word passion, we could use the word ideas, we could use the word innovation, creativity. You know it, right? It's like, ooh, you kind of like you light up and you're like, I need to speak on this. Either you're getting angry about something, or you're getting really excited about something, or you're seeing an injustice in the world and you're like, or you're just like, no, there's some ignorance and I know because I've been there, I've been educated on it. Like I need to correct people. You've all experienced this. You've experienced this moment where you're like, oh shit, I gotta speak. And it's what happens during that moment. Because that moment where you feel, oh shit, I gotta speak, we can do a couple different things there. But that is your power. That moment of I need to speak is a taste of your own power. And what you do from there, run, don't do anything at all, or dive straight in and explode and burn everyone out and not clearly communicate, is really important to look at because we need you speaking. You are brilliant. You're an expert. Your passion is needed. Let me be clear right now. Your passion is needed. How you view the world is so needed. How you look at the world is so needed. Your unique aspect is so desirable because there are people out there right now who, when hearing how you say it, hearing how you frame it up, hearing just even the tone of your voice, you guys, not even about what you say, but how you're saying it. They'll go, that's my person. I've never heard it like that before. I feel unlocked. I feel like I could go run a marathon right now and I want 10 of whatever they're selling. That's what you'll do to people. And you guys, you probably already know this. You probably already experienced this, but now we just got to make this more consistent for you. So we have to get to this place where you can talk about what is passionate for you. Instead of getting passionate, getting worked up, and then going, okay, well, I need to talk. So let me get all professional. And then like it comes across as like dry or professional, or like how you've seen it or heard it every other time before. Because we don't know any other relationship to be with our power. It's like we take our rawness, our realness of what wants to come through us, and then we put masks on top of it. And then we go, here's my YouTube video. Here's my reel. Here's my voice. Here's my artistry. And it's like, that's not it. It was way back there, way upstream, before you decided that it was too much or too loud or too powerful or too crazy. And all of those two things that society and your parents and your siblings and your former bosses or your ex this and your ex that, like those people all put those constraints on you because they were trying to keep you safe or otherwise, or they were hating on you. You know what I mean? Throwing you shade, trying to hurt you, or they were trying to love you. But either way, it's none of your business anymore. You are this sovereign, incredible person. Yes, type yes in the comments if you know that. You know this, and it's time to act accordingly. Okay. So, what we need to be able to do is acknowledge that there is discomfort when you feel your own power. Remember, power equals passion and enthusiasm. It could also equal a pain, because it's like, oh my God, I can't see that injustice anymore in the world. I got to speak on it. But to stand close to your own fire like that is a painful thing if you think about it. And it can lead to, if we're not careful, you ignoring it or pretending that you don't know you're powerful. So there's also a fear of you embracing your power, because what if you do? What if you do embrace your power fully? I mean, who's going to have to change? Are people around me going to have to change? Will my friends still like me? Will my significant other still support me? Will my kids get this? Like, what's mom doing here? What's dad doing here? Will I get fired? Will I get hired? If I really show up in my full power, what's at risk? And the thing is there's always something at risk. So you're smart to ask that. You just got to figure out which risk are you willing to live with. But that shouldn't be a reason that you don't transform and reclaim your power, because it's risky if you don't. And that risk should scare you more. Because if you don't embrace your power, you're going to be right where you are right now for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And don't you want to be 5, 10% happier, 5, 10% more wealthier, have 5 to 10% more impact in the world? You can, and you will do those things. We just got to get you to start to love your proximity to your power, okay? So that you don't ignore it, and so that you don't pretend you're not powerful and therefore try to distort and play small, okay? All right. So let's talk about how this concept came about real quick so we can give you a little bit more background. When you like someone who's on stage, or you listen to someone's YouTube, maybe even use me as an example. If you're like, Kim seems like she has some confidence, what you subconsciously are thinking to yourself is that person likes themselves. And that's not your conscious thought. Your conscious thought is probably like, I like her voice, and I like her hand gestures, and I like her message, and I think I trust her. And then subconsciously, you're like, I believe this person's confident. And then, like, subconscious to that is they like themselves. And the reason you know that's true is because you probably don't like yourself that much. I work with a lot of people, and you won't believe how much of a block there is on your voice because you just don't know how worthy you are. You just don't know how much you don't like yourself. You literally are like strangling yourself emotionally and energetically, going, you can't speak on that. It's not safe. But when you know you're worthy, you feel safe. You feel very safe because you give yourself the safety. You give yourself the permission, okay? So this isn't even a, how do I speak more confidently? I want to sell more in my business, or I'm being asked to be on panels now and keynote. How do I? Okay, it's literally like you've got to do the inner work to love yourself. And I know it's corny, right? And it's like, I just wanted the skills, Kim. And it's like, I got you. Skills are, I've got actually a free 90-minute masterclass called Own the Room. If you want skills, baby, I'll put it in the show links, okay? It's instantaneously, it's on demand, so you can watch it whenever you want, okay? But I go into 5 pro skills there. You build your speaker mission statement. All right, there's a lot of skill in there. So I got you on the skills, but right now let's actually talk about what really needs to happen, okay? And it's the inner work. I know, not sexy, but it's true. Because that's what you know about a confident speaker. They've done the inner work. That's how they can get up there and say the crazy, bold, wild, sometimes wacko things that trailblazing people say. It's because they've learned to like themselves. And so when they have an idea and they can feel their fire burning or their power starting to grow, and they're like, ooh, they don't run. They don't ignore it. They go, oh, I like that. And they sit closer to their fire. That's what I mean by proximity to your power. The closer in proximity to your power you're able to get, the better of a communicator you will be because you trust yourself. Think about it like who are you friends with right now? And how did you come to be friends with them? You were probably at the same coffee pot at work at the same time of every day, or you took you took the same train to work, or you saw each other in the hallway a lot. Like there's proximity, right? The more you are close to someone and the more familiar and often you see them, the frequency increases that you see them, the closer in proximity that you're going to become physically, the faster you're going to become friends because you just see that person all the time and you start to trust them. You start to share some secrets. You start to confide in that person, exchange some numbers. You like start to ask about and remember their birthday and how was their weekend. And then you're building relationship. And then you just come to identify as that person's friend. And now they're coming to your kid's graduation and your wedding and on and on. You became friends with the people you're friends with because of proximity to them. So if you want to become a confident speaker, you have to like yourself, which means you have to get close in proximity to yourself, i.e., your power, who you are, and no longer compromise. Am I powerful? Am I not? Yeah, I'm powerful. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm worthy. No, I'm not. Confident people don't compromise. And neither do you. You're done with that, right? Done with the compromise. This is that inner work. This is that inner work to like yourself. Because when you like yourself, you don't question your thoughts, you don't question your words. And this is where a lot of people struggle. And I've been working with men more lately. And so I can't even say it's women primarily because it's men too, where people have this brilliant thought and their heart goes, contribute. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to contribute. And then where does that thought go? Like it starts with feeling, right? But then it goes right to your mind. And then what happens? Overthinking. Should I? What would they say? Is that the best way to say it? How should I say it? Did they just say it? Oh my God, no. Would they make fun of me? They're going to make fun of me. Then they're going to ask me. And then I got to follow up with that. And I don't even know. Right? Like, and then we don't say it. And yet that one thing you could have contributed might have transformed the trajectory of that project, of your family's health and wellness, of your business. That one thing you could have said, let's get real serious for a second, might have saved your friend's life. I've had it in my past where I'm like, all right, a former sister-in-law of mine OD'd many years ago, but I often wonder, like the last time I was with her, I knew she was going downhill. I knew she was drinking again and using, and I chose not to say anything. I mean, she knew she was in that state. So what was the point? So there's a huge point. There's a huge point to saying, hey, I love you. You matter. I'd like you to stick around a little longer. Could we talk about you being sober? I don't know. I don't know if I would have done it the right way, but do you see how I overthought it and then I ignored it and I ran in the other direction, but my heart was like, speak on it. How many times have you been in that situation before? Maybe not as dire or maybe worse. How many times have you felt something and not spoke on it, seen something and not spoke on it, and then the outcomes were bad? Like I don't want to be all doom and gloom here because but you're still gonna miss out on things that are great if you don't say something too. And I don't know, that's just as bad. That's just as bad as people dying, is you not living, right? So like we've got to learn to, when you feel it from here and you feel it from your gut and it's like, this is the coolest. We gotta start launching it, baby. We gotta start just saying it. Let me know if you're with me in the comments with a yes, I agree. Give me some of your favorite emojis so I know you're with me. I love reading your comments. Okay, so does this make sense? Does this make sense, the whole proximity to power? Think of like your friends at work and how so when you're familiar with something, you trust it. And when you're familiar with something, the chances are you're going to like it because you understand it. The opposite is true too. If you fall away, you don't talk with a friend as much, and suddenly you're like, I don't know, what's she up to? I don't know. What's her vibe? She's got a weird vibe now. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her. Yeah, I don't even like her. And then you're like, that person sucks. Okay. And you get all in your head. But when we stay in our heart and we focus on maintaining a relationship, we maintain what? Trust, love, familiarity, closeness, and likability and love. When you are in a relationship with your voice, because you need to nurture that relationship to your voice. How? By nurturing your proximity to your power. When you are in close proximity to your power, you will get the urge to speak on something or to sing it or dance it or paint it or however it wants to come out. But we're talking about the voice here. You're going to raise your hand at work. You're going to unmute your Zoom chat. You're going to say, kids, let's sit down at the table. Mama's got something to tell you. Here's what's up now. Here's what we're going to be doing. Or, hey, honey, I need you to sit down. We got to have a tough conversation. Or you're going to call up your friend and be like, I miss you. What's happened to our relationship? I've done that before. I remember telling my friend Heather, I miss you. And our friendship isn't deep enough for me anymore. I want to go deeper with you. I love you. I miss you. And would you be open to leaving each other voice notes so that we can keep each other close? And she said, yes. She said, yes. I love my friend Heather so much. I was like, I asked for the love I want and it was given to me. Like, this is the power of being close to your voice, close to your power. Make sense? Okay, so how do we do it then? Great question. I want to give you some skills and tips to start to practice your proximity to your power. Number one thing I mentioned already, go down into the notes, click on the link that says own the room. It's not just a masterclass for how do we get you on stage and speak better. It is about that, but it's more like how do we get you to have a presence that is unwavering so that when you feel and know your truth that it's time to speak on something, you don't censor, ignore, or distort it, and you just clearly deliver on the tongue through the voice exactly how you're meant to say it. Because guess what, guys? That's what's going to influence, that's what's going to have impact. That's what's going to make you money. And that's what's going to help you achieve the life you want. And that's what's going to help build your legacy as well. All right. When you die, people are going to be like, what are they going to say about you? She was a great storyteller. She always made me laugh. She was such a creative person. She was so loving. She was so outspoken. She inspired me. Or no, or they're going to say none of that. They're going to say none of that. They might say, I don't really know who she was. I don't really know who they were. They didn't really talk a lot. Right. So we're done. We're done with the censoring. We're done with being afraid about not in your power, because the alternate route of being afraid of your power is a life where you're ignored. People speak over you. You've got up talk. You've got vocal fry. You've got filler words. You're ignoring your power, which is leaking out into your relationships, your friendships, your spending. Oh my God, we could go on there, but I digress. So what you need to be doing, the physical work, the mindset work, the energy work, the subconscious work, breath work, and the affirmations. This is all, I mean, I teach you this inside of my memberships. And if you work with me one-on-one, this is what we do. This is what I do now. There's no other thing in my world anymore. Okay. Right now, the season is all about communication from the heart and you feeling your power, getting sandwiched on it. Proximity to power, like who you are. Speak when it speaks to you. Speak on it. Okay. So, number one, click on the link below, get yourself in the free 90-minute masterclass and get those skills. Okay. So, that's step one. Step two is practice. Practice being close to your power. And what that looks like is the door shut and a candle lit and closing down the eyes to imagine inside of you a flame. This is representing of your power. And you're going to imagine using your visualization that every time you inhale, that flame gets bigger. And every time you inhale again, the flame gets bigger. And see if you can't visualize inside your heart. Most people say their power feels like it's in their heart, or maybe it's inside your belly. You feel like a flame is growing bigger and bigger and bigger until it's in a full-on raging bonfire inside of you, okay? The purpose of this is to train up your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind loves archetype, it loves visualization. And just as long as you've assigned that fire the label of my power and not just some random bonfire inside of you, you will be training the subconscious mind that when I see an image of a fire or I feel heat in my body, we don't run anymore. How many of you get hot when you go to speak and you hate it, so you stop talking? Yeah. Let me look at my camera here. I don't know if it's happening. Sure, there it is. I'm hot right now. I don't have an air conditioner on and I'm getting red. Now I used to read redness and even my face get a little flush, right? I don't know what that was. I like a little puff in my hair right now, so I think that's what that was. But I'm looking at my camera now, and I'm all weird. I'm gonna go off my camera. Okay, there we go. Get all weird when I look at myself. So I get red. I get red. You get red. We all get red. Who effing cares? We have to get over ourselves and stop making our bodies wrong. And that's a deep, deep, deep part of my one-on-one practice and private practice with you is to make sure that we're really emphasizing do not make your body wrong. Okay. All right. I don't want this podcast, this episode rather to be too long here on the YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and keep going. I want you to spend time nurturing your relationship with yourself and your highest good. That might look like going for walks. That might look like doing yoga, qigong. That might look like getting massages. Your highest good looks like you meditating and affirming with yourself with visualization. Not only the fire practice, because we want to see and feel your fire and your heat getting bigger. It's just a representation of your power and you're holding it, right? Just holding your fire. But also the next step on top of that is to think about and visualize all of the great things that have happened that you've participated in, that you helped to bring to life. That's your highest good. Have you had a recent client success story that was amazing? Did you help an old lady cross the road? Did you find a stray dog and bring it back to their owner? Did you give someone an amazing compliment and it made their day? These are all things that have recently happened to me, by the way. That's why I'm listing them off. Did you randomly gift a stranger tickets to a rock and roll concert? Did you randomly? What are your moments recently, your flex list that you did? And I want you to make a list, write it all down, and then read out loud that list back to you. You're going to feel incredible after you do this. And this should be an ongoing relationship that you develop with yourself, guys. Okay. Do this work. Make that list. Don't leave it to chance that you're going to remember how awesome you are. At first, when you're just getting started with this, you won't remember. So you're going to need to make that list and read it to yourself. Make that list and check it twice. Oh, I found out who's awesome or not. Okay, that song sucked. Now, energy work. Okay, energy work, mindset work, subconscious work. I understand that you might not know how to do subconscious work, but that information is out there. It's no longer an excuse for you to go, my mindset sucks and I don't know what to do about it. There's so much out there on the internet for tapping and hypnotherapy and somatic work and breath work and this and that and all the things. You have no excuse. Sorry, not sorry. If you want to learn from me, get a hold of me. In the links below, you'll see some programs and things that you can jump in. But it is crucial that you do the inner work because nothing is going to change. You won't become a better communicator. You're not going to become a better speaker. You're going to still be spoken over and people are going to be like, what? Speak up, your soft voice, right? Like all of that BS is still going to happen until you do the inner work. Okay, so let's review, boys and girls. What are we going to do? Number one, get yourself in that free masterclass. Link is below. Number two, visualize every single morning the fire growing inside of you and imagine you can feel the heat. And say to it, this represents my power. And just hold it. Sometimes you'll see images in the flame. Sometimes you'll get messages. People hear things. People feel and see things when they do this meditation. Okay, that's helping you get a close proximity. And just remind yourself, I am powerful. I see and feel my fire all the time. It doesn't scare me anymore. Number three, you need to make a list of all of your good deeds and recite it out loud to yourself. Make this a daily thing you do for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, that's going to reinforce your highest good is always available. And the last thing is make sure you're doing the mindset work, the energy work, the subconscious work, because the last thing we need is for you to be assuming that your power is unsafe. Come on now. It's you. Your power isn't some foreign object coming in. It's not someone else's power. It's you. But we've learned somewhere along the way that our power isn't safe. We've learned that it's not safe to hold it because in the past, when we displayed our power or spoke on it, someone told us to be quiet, someone yelled at us, someone shamed us. So we shut down that power and we say to ourselves, being powerful is not safe, or someone left you, or someone cheated on you. When you started to work on your career, when you started to go back to school, that's what happened to me. I was going back to school and my ex-husband, at the time husband, wanted a divorce, fell in love with his ex-wife. So it's like, wow, when I go to reach for the stars and better myself, people leave. Do you see how that's a problem for when I went to speak, which was an issue for me? I would feel a huge lack of power. And so I would just close my mouth, or I'd go become someone else. I'd speak in a different way, in a different tone, or have a different sarcasm that wasn't me, just to fit in, because it didn't feel safe being me. We need you powered up, baby, close in proximity to your power. And I know when you do these exercises and you play along with everything I just gave you, you are going to start to nurture that relationship, that proximity to your power, so that you like yourself. And so you like what you say. And so you like what comes up. And when you like what you say and you feel that power and you feel that enthusiasm, you start to speak on it at home, at work, in your business, in your intimate relationships. Start to use the power of your voice more. If this was a service to you, if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it. If you liked it, below, hit that subscribe button. Give me a comment below on what was your biggest takeaway. What are you like, oh my God, I can't believe I've never heard this before. I'm going to start to do this. This shifted everything for me. I would love to know so much. I geek out on that stuff. But guys, it was so great to be back. I can't wait to be again with you in the next video. See you soon.